Warning: some viewers may find the following content to be disturbing. Viewers' discretion is advised. I seriously mean that discretion, by the way. This is one of the most friggin' weird stories I've ever seen. So if you can't handle disturbing content and other things, don't watch this video. Sorry for interrupting, let's continue. Everybody knows that if you surf the web long enough, you'll see some pretty sick shit. This is especially true if you intentionally dwell into the dark underbelly of the internet. I've seen quite a few things I don't care to admit to, but one thing that I will always remember is a website called normalpornfornormalpeople.com. The first strange thing about the site was, I didn't find it by actually looking for it. It was emailed directly to me, by somebody I didn't even know. The email was as follows: "Hi there, found the site, very nice. Thought you might like normalpornfornormalpeople.com. Pass it on, for the good of mankind." Pretty standard issue chain letter. Although the URL and the last remark really piqued my curiosity. I was having a really boring day when I got this, so I made sure my antivirus was working, and I clicked it. It was a very average, generic site. It gave the impression that the creators barely gave a shit about making it look professional. The author seemed to have a rather large gap in English, and on the front page was a long, boring, and incoherent rant that I don't remember or have saved. The site had a strange tagline, which even today people haven't figured out the meaning of, which was, "Normal porn for normal people, a website dedicated to the eradication of abnormal sexuality." And from the sound of that, I wasn't sure whenever I was here to watch porn, or if I had just stumbled onto some kind of eugenics program. But I was here now, and I was very, very curious to see what normal people get their rocks off to. So I scrolled down the rant, and nothing. The page didn't seem to link to anywhere else. As I was about to give up, I noticed every word of the rant has its own hyperlink. I clicked on one of them and was sent to the white page with a very long list of links in the form of normalpornfornormalpeople.com, insert link. So I stopped for a moment and asked myself if I was really ready to waste God knows amount of time clicking random links that will most likely give me a virus and rape my computer. I figured I'd just try it for maybe 5 minutes just to see if anything came up. I clicked on one of the links, and I was sent to another page. This page apparently had totally different URLs from the last one. I was just about to say, fuck this, when I clicked on the third link, and a video download came on. It was called peanut.avi. It was a 30-minute video of a man, a woman, and a dog in the kitchen. The woman would make a peanut butter sandwich, and the man would set it down for the dog to eat. This was all that happened for 30 minutes. It was obvious that the cameraman had to stop filming and wait until the dog was ready to eat again. And the dog seemed rather sick by the end of it. I know what you're thinking. What the hell does this have to do with porn? I have no clue. I've seen a little over 24 videos from this site, and the majority had absolutely nothing to do with sexuality, or any sexual activity at all. After watching peanut.avi, I went on a certain image board I used to frequent to play online show and tell, like I always do with weird shit like this. But somebody had already made a thread about it. Some guy who had received the same chain letter that I did. The image board thread got loads of people, with nothing better to do than just to dig through the site. And that's how I saw the other videos. Most of the 24 videos were very uneventful, and consisted of people talking to the cameraman in a room with nothing but a desk and a few chairs. I mean literally nothing on the walls in terms of furniture. The whole room had a very cold, sterile feeling to it. The conversations were just idle banter about previous jobs or embarrassing childhood moments. I kept expecting some kind of discussion about what the people were filming or what the site was about. But of course, nothing. You would never know these videos had anything to do with porn if you saw it out of context. I will say one thing though. The people who appeared in these videos were quite attractive. However, the other videos that actually did feature content, which I suppose could be called sexual, is where things got weird. I'll give a brief description of these stranger videos. If you're really eaten up with curiosity, you can try to hunt them down on a torrent site. LickedClean.avi, a 10-minute video filmed by a hidden camera in which we see a repairman working in a washing machine for the first 2 minutes. When it is fixed, the repairman talks to the owner briefly and leaves. The owner checks to make sure that the repairman is gone, and he begins to lick all over the top of the washing machine. This goes on for 7 minutes. Jimbo.avi, a 5-minute video of an obese mime performing his act. It was actually pretty funny, particularly one part where he pretends to pull up a chair, then pretends it breaks because of his weight. In the last 30 seconds of the video, the camera cuts to static briefly, and then cuts back to the man sobbing quietly, still wearing that mime outfit and makeup. Some kind of obscure fetish. Diana.avi, a 4-minute video in which the cameraman speaks to a woman in a room different from the interview room. This room looks like one you would actually see in a normal person's house. Exactly where they are is never specified, as Diana only talks about her violin playing. She obviously plays her violin, but she keeps getting distracted by something. I didn't notice this until someone on the image board thread pointed it out, but if you look at the mirror in the background, you can see a fat man in a chicken mask masturbating. Jessica.avi, another 4-minute cameraman video. This time, he's outside of a house, talking to another young woman. They speak about canoe rides. The camera zooms out to reveal the city streets behind them occasionally. The strange thing is, no one so far has been able to identify where the street is. Guesses have ranged anywhere from Europe to Australia to the Philippines. But there's yet to be a match for the street shown in the video. Tonguetied.avi, a 10-minute video. The first 5 minutes consists of an elderly woman making out with a mannequin. The video cuts out halfway, like Jimbo.avi, and the scene is now a group of mannequins huddled together in a circle around the camera. The lights have been dimmed, and the elderly woman is nowhere to be seen. From this point on, there is no sound. Stumps.avi. A 5-minute long video where a man with no legs is attempting to breakdance on a DDR mat in what looks like the same kitchen from Peanut.avi, but much dirtier. There's a radio playing music on scene in the background, but it stops at the 4-minute mark when the man collapses on the mat in exhaustion. He breathes heavily and pleads with somebody off-screen to let him rest. The off-screen person becomes terrifyingly enraged and yells at him to keep dancing, which he does. You can hear this off-screen person begin to scream as the video ends abruptly. Privacy.avi. The woman from Diana.avi is masturbating on a mattress in the interview room, while the man from Stumps.avi walks around on his hands while wearing some kind of goblin mask. The door in this room was always closed in other videos, and now it was open. In this video, the only light is in the room, and the hallway is dark. Near the end of the video, you can see an animal quickly run through the hallway. And finally, the last video we uncovered, Useless.avi. In this 18-minute video, the blonde woman from one of the previous interviewed videos is tied down to a mattress with her mouth taped over as she attempted to scream. After 7 minutes, a man in a black suit and mask opens the door, but he does not enter. He holds the door open for the animal that was running in the hall in the previous video. It's revealed to be an adult chimpanzee. Its hair shaved, and its entire body was painted red. When the chimp enters the room, the masked man closes the door behind it. It then sniffs the air for a moment. It may have been blind, and it notices the woman tied to the mattress. He goes into a frenzy and begins to maul her. The assault goes on for a grueling 7 minutes, until the woman finally dies. The chimp eats flesh from her corpse for 4 minutes as the video ends. The thread exploded with activity after this video was uncovered, and people discussed it long into the night. When I came back to the image board the next day, I found that the thread was deleted. I attempted to start another one, and they banned me. I tried emailing the same guy who sent me that chain letter with the site's URL. I sent him about 5 messages, and I never got a response. I've tried to discuss the website on various places, and I would get banned frequently as a result. The site itself was also deleted 3 days after Useless.avi was uncovered, likely because somebody had contacted the authorities about it. The only proof that normal porn for normal people ever existed was a few screen caps that people have taken, and videos from that website that people had saved and uploaded onto torrents. The most popular of which being Useless.avi, which found its way onto a few gore sites. Wherever you upload them to, all of the videos from normal porn for normal people get deleted after a while. And that, my docs, was normal porn for normal people. A lost media, I guess, kind of creepypasta. My final thoughts on this story? I can describe it in a sentence. What the fuck was that? This is probably the most bizarre creepypasta I have ever seen. Like, what the hell was going on? Such weird premises for a story, I swear. It's insanely creative, but incredibly disturbing. I've never seen this done in any story. How oddly specific and gross it is. Not to mention how deceptive that title is. Imagine if a horny 12-year-old found it, normal porn for normal people, and didn't know what it was. He clicked on it, expecting to see, I don't know, some naked babes, like in High School DxD. But then friggin' sees a chimpanzee mauling an old person to death. But in all honesty though, this story is really interesting. That's all I can say. I don't know if I hate or dislike the story, or if I like it or not. I don't know, I'm just in shock really, it's just so confusing. If I had to give this story a final rating, I'd have to give it a 5 out of 10. Completely flat across the board. I don't know if I like it or if I dislike it. I'll probably have to do another video discussing my further thoughts on this story. But for now, this has been the Dark Author. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see some more, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Hit the bell so you can stay up to date with my latest videos. And let me know, what the hell did you think of this clusterfuck of a story? Alright, good night everybody.